Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my bathroom. Tonight we're going to be doing a skincare routine. I realize I haven't done like a proper one in a while now, so I'm just going to share with you the products that I've been using right now to keep my skin in a good state as we're moving into the warmer springtime weather. And I'm calling this routine calming and healing because not only are these, really nice, gentle, restorative products for my sensitive skin and kind of taking into consideration that seasonal change that can make my skin feel a little bit more, a little bit more dehydrated, a little bit more irritated. But this is also about decompressing from the day. And that is one of the things that gets me so excited about my nighttime skincare routine is the ability to just kind of wash it all away. You know what I mean? Like physically, but also like mentally, really kind of like change my mind over from that work time mode to that relaxation self-care mode and give me that mindful moment that I am seeking for in my day. So if you're ready for some healing and calming, give the video a big thumbs up and let's start this routine. So I'm going to be starting off with a double cleanse. As you can see, I do have some makeup on, sunscreen, some pretty thick layers that I want to break through, and oil cleansing is definitely the way to get that done like really efficiently. This is the Dam Silk Rice Cleansing Oil. This is actually my second bottle. You've seen this in some past skincare routines. This is a nice, somewhat newer brand from a Japanese kind of inspired brand that you can find at Sephora right now. I don't know if they're in store, but they're definitely online. And this is one of the nicer fragrance-free cleansing oil options that you can find on Sephora. It's not that easy to find fragrance-free. Nice fluidy cleansing oil. It's not super duper thick. It's not really thin either, but it has like a nice fluidity to it. It spreads on the skin super nicely. It's actually really good for kind of popping out some of those hardened sebum plugs in the skin if you're prone to those. I am. So this is La Roche-Posay Gentle Foaming Cleansing Oil. You've seen this from me before, and despite the name, there's actually no oil in here. This is not like the Dam oil cleanser. It's not oil based. It's not a dedicated like makeup remover. It's actually just a foaming cleanser. And the weird thing is there's no oil in the ingredients. Kind of a misleading name. It's really just kind of referring to the fact that it's kind of a gentle moisturizing type of cleanser with a nice gentle foam. And so this is actually another second bottle. I've used this for a while now. And that's kind of one of the first key tips when it comes to kind of keeping your skin in a calm state, or if you're healing irritation, right? The themes of tonight's routine is to kind of just stick with stuff you know. Stick with stuff that has worked for you. Now may not be the time to be jumping around to lots of new products. I mean, sometimes you can find like a nice new healing, calming product, but generally when my skin is going through it, or if I just kind of want to restore it, I am going to go to my, tried and true types of products, and this is definitely something that has quickly risen to one of my favorite gentle skin respective cleansers. So something that I find very like restorative and calming, but also just really satisfying is being very thorough with that cleansing process. As you notice, it wasn't just because I was talking, but I was really working the cleanser into each area of my face. And then I did give my skin a very good thorough rinsing. That is, like I said, very satisfying at the end of a long, work day, like washing off the day, but also it is great if you're definitely congestion prone, if you're struggling with enlarged pores, dull looking skin. It could be down to like a not thorough, not mindful cleansing process. So definitely try to tune in when you are cleansing your skin and make sure that you are being thorough. Take a good 30 to 60 seconds to really work your cleanser in and really thoroughly rinse that cleanser off your face. You may be pleasantly surprised to see some really nice benefits on your skin once you embrace a more mindful, thorough cleanse. So this is the Bioderma Sensibio Wash Off Mask. It's a pretty straightforward, kind of basic cream mask. It's not super duper rich. It's not like really buttery or oily. It just has this really nice kind of cream not overwhelming type of texture, but there is some really great calming elements in this mask. Some calming that is derived from licorice root, which has a really nice anti-inflammatory effect for the skin. There's some sugar molecules in here that kind of just help to replenish skin hydration. And it is one of my favorite masks, just in general, but for sure when my skin is feeling a little bit sensitive. As I've shared in the last couple of weeks, you know, I have been going through the process of helping to heal my skin after some irritation from product testing. So I definitely have been trying to just like give my skin some space from new products. But I did, especially towards the beginning, have to really heal my skin. And this is definitely a product that helped to heal my skin. So while this mask is infusing all that healing and calming into my face, you know, I have about, you know, 5 to 10 minutes here, right? I could easily pick up my phone and just start scrolling. I'm actually gonna take this moment for myself and really embrace that calming aspect and do like a quick visual meditation for myself. And this is how easy meditation can be. It literally can be minutes in your day, and it can literally be minutes within your skincare routine. They often say that like stacking habits together, right, can actually help to create the habit. So it's really just about focusing in on your breath, taking those deep breaths in through the nose, deep belly breaths, right? You can let it out through your mouth or through your nose, whatever feels comfortable for you. Again, this isn't like a very traditional way to do it, but just really taking that breath, not just from in the chest, you know, but like really pushing and pulling that breath down into your stomach. Make a real big belly, right? And really then, you know, once it's in your belly, fill it up to your chest and then let it go. Just that alone like relaxes my shoulders and muscles and neck, which gets so tense throughout the day. And one way that really helps me really align is actually imagining like a color, like a cleansing color. For me, I often imagine like a really beautiful, like smoky, ethereal white ball of energy. And I imagine that like in front of me, and then when I breathe in, I imagine taking that ball of beautiful white ethereal, colorful, you know, light in, and it fills my whole body, my whole stomach and my chest, and it spreads out to my arms and down my legs. And I really visualize how cleansing and uplifting this color can be, and then breathing it out. And I just do that a couple of times, and I really focus in on the color. That really helps me stay present. And this can be done anywhere. It can be done at any time. It can be done at your desk. It can be done on the bus. It can be done while you're laying down trying to fall asleep. This is actually a technique that has opened up the healing of meditation, like the benefits of it, right, without it having to feel forced, without having to feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's just my interpretation, but it actually like even my muscles in my neck and chest just feel so much looser because I just took that moment and really tuned into myself, into my breath, and that visualization helped keep me present, and it really brought all that relaxation deep into my body. So everything is washed off. I have this nice, very light layer of calming moisture on my skin to start the rest of my routine, but it's not thick. It's not going to interfere with absorption. This is the Round Lab 1025 Dokdo toner, and I love the texture of this. Look at that. So watery, so thin, and yet so much hydration. It just feels like a great drink of water. As I mentioned, my skin, it's not too bad, but just I'm noticing a little extra dehydration because there's been quite a few, my skin just drank up that first layer. Going in for a second one. We've had quite a bit of temperature fluctuations. It's been very warm. It's been quite chilly. It's been windy. You know, spring in the Midwest, the weather just doesn't know what it wants to do, right? So all of the fluctuations definitely do cause some dehydration on my skin. And because there is a little bit of that early you know, allergy season starting to happen, I can feel that a little bit in my skin too, which also causes a bit of inflammation and some dehydration. So this is just that good, watery, deep replenishing layer that my skin is craving without being too thick. My lips are feeling super dry, so I'm gonna put on a layer of the Torriden Solid in Lip Essence. It's a really nice restorative type of lip balm, but it has that really kind of like appealing, really high gloss kind of a look, but it actually does like restore dry and chapped lips. Next up is the Laneige Cream Skin Refiner Mist. This is discontinued. You are gonna have a really hard time finding this. I'm not gonna be able to link this in the product description for you at all. I'm so sorry. But I have to be honest with you, like, I had to like rip the bandage off. Like, I've had this in my cabinet for a while, and I was like, you know what, it's discontinued. Like, there's really no reason for you to hang on to this anymore except for just like memories, right? So just rip off the bandage, use this up, enjoy it, honor it while you still can. Don't let it go to waste, right? But I love to use especially moisturizing layers like this, because this is like it's a toner, but it's milky. It's got more emolliency to it, has oil content to it. I love to use the mist versions of those types of products because I still get that like, because it feels good, especially my chin feels quite dry right now. It feels so comforting and nourishing and soothing, but the mist format actually keeps that layer a lot lighter. If I was to pour this out into my hand like the Dokdo toner and apply it that way, it actually might feel a little too greasy. It might end up making the rest of my routine feel too thick for my skin. Again, we're in that in-between season. So this is the Peach and Lily Barrier Restore Serum. It does have a creamy texture to it, but as you see, it actually applies a little bit more fluid and light to the skin. It's not a stiff type of texture. It's not a cream. Well, it has a creaminess to it. It's more like a fluidy cream that you put in your coffee rather than like a thick like buttercream that you like frost a cake with, right? Oh, I must be hungry. Why I've really been loving this, especially for this kind of like pre-spring time, is the Ectoin. I'm getting really obsessed with this ingredient. It's a very potent antioxidant. It's also a very potent skin hydrator, and I think that's what sets this barrier serum apart from some of my more favorite creamier, richer types of products that makes it suitable for kind of layering lighter moisture in the beginning of this skincare routine. The Ectoin really just creates this hydration shell. It's amazing for dehydrated skin. It's amazing for really keeping long-lasting hydration on the skin, which I struggle with, especially at nighttime when I'm sleeping. I'm so prone to dehydration. But it's also a really good, as I said, antioxidant, but it's a great anti-pollution ingredient. And this time of year, there's some wildfires starting to happen. There is some bad air quality starting to occur, and that is increasingly becoming a skin concern of mine. I'm noticing and tuning into how that affects my skin, and so I've really been thinking about all these different types of antioxidants and playing around with which ones work for me to really help defend my skin against those pollutants. This is the Multi-Peptide Eye Serum from The Ordinary, and I literally just started using it this morning. I was waiting until I emptied my tube of eye cream that I was currently using. I just did that, so I actually can't tell you too much about this product, but I've been excited to put this into my skincare routine. I've been waiting. So as you can see, it has like a gel type of texture, but it's runny, but there is a little bit of body to it, which I think is pretty important. If you're gonna do more of like an eye serum instead of like an eye cream, you don't want it like dripping all down your face. So I was a little afraid at first when I tried it this morning, like how runny it might be, but it actually kind of stays in the area that you apply it pretty well. So Stratia Lipid Gold, are you surprised? I know you are not. So I do about a pump of liquid gold, and now I'm using the Ordinary Bee Oil, and I do 3 drops of that, and I mix it up in the back of my hand, and that's how I apply the layer. And I know I say this in every video, but just in case you're new or you're wondering why I'm mixing products, it helps the layer absorb better for me, especially because now we've moved from lighter, you know, hydrating, light moisture to straight up like lotiony emollient layer. This is very, very rich, nourishing, oil-based. Obviously, I just put straight up oil right on my face. And so those layers, if I apply them separately for my individual skin and chemistry and the way my skin accepts, it would feel okay, but it just does not feel as breathable and quite as airy. And I know that that sounds surprising for these types of textures, but this is just how my skin accepts it. It just wouldn't feel as good. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to harness all that beautiful slip that I've created with the oil and perform a little bit of Gua Sha, a massage. I love Gua Sha. Now, I really like the method for lymphatic drainage, and basically it is the technique that works from the center of your face outwards, from the top and then down. So you kind of go from here and then you will go down. And the idea is that you're moving all of the stagnant fluid, lymphatic fluid in your skin down to the lymph nodes to be drained away. But, this feels good. It is amazing for tension. If you get tension headaches, if you hold stress, tension and anxiety in your face, you're going to feel certain areas need release. And so that's why I start with my eyebrows, because I'm not too bad today, but I often can feel quite a bit of muscular tension there. That is not necessarily part of lymphatic drainage, but that's where I start for the relaxation. You want to have firm pressure, but you don't want to press down too hard. You will find that the more consistent you are with this, the less time you'll need to work these knots out too. And you'll also probably notice a lot less pain and headaches as well. So you kind of scrape from the center down, and then moving on to the eye area. I'm actually going to flip to that like larger area here and move outward. So my Gua Sha is a chevron amethyst Gua Sha. I do like the language of crystals. It may not be something that speaks to you, so you can really, the material of your Gua Sha does not really matter. They come stainless steel, jade, rose quartz are very common materials for Gua Sha. But the language of crystals, as I was saying, amethyst is actually a very healing crystal. It is a crystal that promotes stress relief. It helps to relieve anxiety. It also helps you manifest your dreams and things like that. So that may be something that you might want to incorporate if you're really looking to create more of like a calming or healing, you know, not just your skin, right? But making this routine some part of a stress relief for you. If you want to incorporate the meditation like I showed earlier, these are all ways that we can build self-care into our routines, the ways that we can build self-healing into our skincare and kind of take it to the next level. As I often say about skincare too, it's not just about what we're putting on our skin, right? It's about how we're treating our vessel. It's how we're treating ourselves. A lot of internal things affect the state of our skin. Sometimes it's just the relief from the day, letting go of anything that's you're kind of carrying around with you from your day, especially at nighttime. So important for you to release that before your self-care time, before your relaxation time, your family time, your sleep time, right? And so there's lots of different ways that resonate with different people, lots of different ways to achieve that. What I did forget to do for lymphatic drainage is actually all that side. We moved all that stuff to the side. We gotta pull it down. Make sure you have lots of lubrication here. If you're not into oil on your face, you can use lots of moisturizer. And then you can work on your chin. I hold a lot of fluid in my chin. It's genetic. All the women in my family have it. Pull it to the ears because we're working everything out to the side and then down into the lymph nodes here. And like I said, I'm doing the speedy version. I have a few videos here on YouTube that go a little bit more in depth into this technique. And by the way, you don't need this tool either. You know, I talked about all the different materials and stuff, but you actually can just use your hands to do this. It's just use the technique. What you want to do is like use your knuckles and do it like this way. And again, don't press too hard. Give some firm pressure. Sometimes in the morning I'll just do this, right? You don't need to spend a lot to do these types of techniques to get these types of benefits. Weird but important. Fingers, armpits, press in. That's what helps to release the fluid. If you're really into the idea of lymphatic drainage, it's the most important part. So this is Cerave Moisturizing Cream. This is a longtime favorite of mine. I'm using a little spatula from the big jar. This is like an old habit that is left over from when I had COVID because I didn't want to put my sick fingers in the jar. And then this is the Skinfix triple lipid peptide cream. I can never remember the like super complicated name. Now, why am I doing this again? I'm mixing two things together. So this is Cerave. You can see that it is a moisturizing cream, but you can see that Skinfix has a little bit more, maybe a little bit more silkiness to it. What I've been doing is actually mixing them together because Cerave has not always been enough for my skin in the winter time. You know, 9 months out of the year, it's absolutely perfect, but sometimes in the super cold, it's not enough. Skinfix is so silky and moisturizing that 9 months out of the year, it's too much for my skin. But there's kind of an amazing thing that happens between the two creams when I mix them together when my skin is feeling quite dry, maybe a little raw, maybe irritated, but definitely in this type of weather. Tonight it's gonna be pretty cold, it's gonna drop down. I will be walking my dog one more time tonight before going to bed. And so I just want to really like boost up a lot of moisture tonight. Tomorrow during the day, it's going to be pretty mild and I'll probably just use this. It's also a nice trick if you do run into the issue of having too much skincare on your hands. Some of us are guilty of that, right? This can be a nice way to use up a little bit, you know, like 2 products at once. But for me, it's just about making the creams that sometimes aren't always individually appropriate for my skin, mixing them together actually makes them perfect for my skin instead of me having to go run out and buy a 3rd product. So I'm going to finish up with some Cerave Healing Ointment. This is 46% petrolatum. I am just putting it around my eyes. This is another habit that I fell into when I was sick with COVID back in January, and I've been sticking with it because, as I mentioned, this very early spring weather is kind of flaring up some very mild allergy symptoms for me, and one of those symptoms is very watery, slightly puffy eyes, which actually make my eye skin feel very dry. It's actually creating an additional seal on all that skincare that we layered in, and so it's actually going to make that skincare last longer for me as I'm sleeping. I also do sleep with like an eye mask on to block out the light, and that absorbs a little bit of the skincare around my eyes and can result in some dryness. It is going to be too overwhelming with those thick creams and oils and things that I put on my skin right now to do a full face application. You can always feel free to slug in specific areas. My dog came in. Come here. Say hello. Oh, Piper, she's scared. So that's it. She's asking for some attention, some cuddles and love, and that's what we are going to do. So I hope you enjoyed, and I am so glad you were here with me tonight. I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.